CCTV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime Property. Before the commercial break, we had taken you through many of the promises made by Arvind Kejriwal. Kejriwal admits his next challenge is to come good on all of those promises. For that, he needs money and to convince the BJP to provide full statehood to Delhi, which incidentally was missing in the BJP's vision document released in the run-up to the state election.
Arvind Kejriwal himself has gone and met the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and the Urban Development Minister, and they have given us assurances that they will look into the demand of full statehood. It's very important for the centre to remember that this mandate is also a mandate for our 70-point action plan. People have validated our 70-point action plan, and full statehood comes right at the top. So let's hope we have started on a positive note, on a clean slate, and we are ready to meet the centre halfway, and we are hoping that the centre would reciprocate.
Mr. Khaitan, the Delhi budget is about 36,700 crore rupees. You're saying you're confident the BJP is going to agree to giving Delhi full statehood. That means eventually you have to run the Delhi police. That's about another 5,000 crore rupees. You have all your election promises, CCTV cameras, free Wi-Fi across the city, cutting water bills, cutting electricity bills. Where is all this money going to come from?
Actually, if you look at the CAG reports, audit reports of municipal corporations, now there are 3 municipal corporations, and if you include NDMC, then that amounts to 4 corporations. And if you also look at Delhi government's budget, there has been a serious problem of efficient budgetary allocation, optimal budgetary utilization. Every year, and this problem is more acute in the corporations, every year almost 30 to 40% of planned expenditure gets lapsed. The figure may vary from corporation to corporation, but this problem of lack of efficiency, lack of planning, lack of foresight is really very acute vis-a-vis corporations.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Mr. Khaitan, but just by running corporations more efficiently and plugging leakages, are you really going to find the money to deliver on all that you have promised? You have promised 500 new schools, 20 new colleges, 17,000 new teachers, 4,000 new doctors, 15,000 new paramedics, a new power plant for Delhi which will have a peak capacity of 6,200 megawatts, cutting electricity bills, cutting water bills.
See, I can understand some of this cynicism that goes with every poll promise, because every party in the past has been known to promise the moon, and then there is very little delivery. But as far as Aam Aadmi Party's manifesto goes, I would like to assure your viewers that we have done a detailed study, a wide consultation with almost every stakeholder, including people within the government. So we do have an action plan, and we know how to implement our action plan. So if we take one sector at a time, you pointed out education, and you said that we want to open 500 new schools. In fact, 500 new schools is the minimum that an elected government needs to do over the next 5 years. 2,500 crore is the planned expenditure of the education sector for this year. And until December, almost 80% of it was lying unutilized, and will lapse very soon, because the financial year is going to end very soon. Last 8 years, Delhi government has opened just 211 schools. So every year you have roughly 2,000 to 3,000 crore for a planned expenditure for education, which is opening up new buildings, setting up new labs, buying new computers and so on. But if you see that if 211 schools is all that the Delhi government has to show for the last 8 years, then there is something seriously wrong with the way Delhi government has been functioning.
Your manifesto says that you're going to look at innovative ways to find resources to fund all that is being promised, and one of the options being considered is to monetize 200 acres of vacant land for affordable housing. You've also spoken a lot about affordable housing in that manifesto. Can you take me through your plans?
Actually, the policy of DD, unfortunately, has been for the builders, of the builders, by the builders. Most of the government policies have been tailor-made to suit private builders and land sharks in the city. Land is available, but artificial scarcity of land has been created by the government to benefit the builders. Affordable housing is a big promise in a manifesto. You pointed out 200 acres that we have mentioned in manifesto. It's a vacant land which is lying with the Delhi government. That certainly can be utilized to provide affordable housing. Also, some of the slums in Delhi today, they exist on the land which is directly or indirectly controlled by the Delhi government agencies. That too will be used to provide affordable housing. But the kind of models of slum rehabilitation and slum redevelopment that were implemented by the Congress government in the past were actually a big scam where nobody was getting benefited, not the government, not the people living in the slum, not the people of Delhi, but only a builder. So we would do away with such policies, and we would like to introduce people-friendly policies where land is not made a scarce commodity artificially, but is made available for the economically disadvantaged sections in the city.
And can you tell me how you define affordable housing? What kind of a price bracket are you looking at? Affordable is quite an objective term, and we've not seen it being clearly defined in your manifesto.
DDA has completely failed in its objective in Delhi of providing affordable housing to middle class and lower middle class. We want to fulfill that responsibility, and we will also hold consultation with DDA that look, you have failed the people of Delhi. Yes, we have certain land available with us, Delhi government, but there is a big parcel of land which are now only with DDA. So as I said, this mandate is also for the implementation of all our poll promises which are there in a manifesto. This manifesto was drawn by the people of Delhi. People of Delhi have mandated themselves. So we do expect full cooperation by the center, including agencies like DDA. And affordable housing for us is very simple. What we want to say that even if you are earning 50,000, 60,000 rupees a month, if that's the total income of a household, even if you are earning like 15, 20,000, with accordingly, you should have options available where you can afford to own a house and not driven out of the city to the edges of the city, which unfortunately is happening in Delhi today.
Mr. Khaitan, I now want to talk to you about the BRT or the bus rapid transport. Since it was conceptualized, it's been mired in controversy. It also polarizes public opinion. There are those who really believe it has helped traffic. There are those who believe it has made Delhi more congested. BJP had said it was going to demolish the BRT. What is the Aam Aadmi Party going to do? Your manifesto was silent on this.
Well, BRT is a very complex issue. As you rightly pointed out, it is mired in controversies. It's also mired in legal controversies. It has gone to High Court. We want to come into government, first have a look at the files, hold consultations within the government, including transport department, finance and administrative departments, and also want to hold wide public consultations. And once we have held wide public consultations involving all stakeholders, then we would be able to give you a specific response of what would be our stand on BRT.
And to make Delhi a world-class city, will you invite participation from industry?
We are actually looking for participation of the industry on a big scale. We also understand that after the new law, CSR amounts have also increased by exponentially. So we are looking at private participation of industry. One of the things we want to do is that we want to look at the existing industrial zones that we have. There are 20 odd industrial zones which are presently lying in a very bad state because there is no infrastructure over there. We want to explore the ways possible to regenerate them. If possible, allow land change policies.
So in a nutshell, you're saying you're going to look at that CSR provision in the New Companies Act to get industry to invest in Delhi.
Well, yes, the quantum of CSR has increased exponentially after the new amendment. So most of the CSR money, I have been told, is lying unutilized. The industry is also looking at possible ways to utilize and invest this CSR money in states and tie up with governments which are accountable, which are very, very transparent. So we would also explore the CSR funding for some of the key sectors like, as I said, health and education.
With that, we're done with Delhi. On the other side of prime property, we're going to head to Mumbai and tell you what Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is planning and how those policy changes are going to impact property prices in the maximum city. Stay tuned.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.